Plot twists everywhere. Alright, so this chapter was quite interesting. Interesting indeed. So Red finally gets back to the gym to confront Erica and be like, hey, you's a bitch. Don't do this to Evie. Blah, 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 blah. She's pulling the bad guy card, acting like a real villain. They end up finding a pamphlet, or like a brochure, or like paperwork, I guess, that like outlines all the terrible things that have been done to Evie and why it can transform into all of the three evolutions up to that point without actually fully evolving. At that point, Erica then shows up and starts being the bad guy. And Red and her kind of go at it, 3-on-3 Pokemon. He's battling with his, she's got hers, and they're just going at each other. Eventually, Red has Pikachu right on the last line of defense, and she kind of sees that his Pikachu, they end up kind of foregoing the battle itself to protect to protect the Eevee that's now in the Pokeball, and they kind of forego the battle for itself because Red at this point doesn't really care about the badge. He just really does not like Erica and everything that she's apparently standing for at this point. And so he has Pikachu like kind of fake her out and go for the Eevee, which is really weak in a Pokeball, and if it comes out of the Pokeball before getting healed, it'll probably die. So she kind of puts up this bad guy facade, and I say facade because once she sees that Red is more interested in protecting the Eevee than the badge and the whole battle itself, she kind of like, suddenly she like does a 180, and it's like, oh, well, now that I see that you're a really good person, I think I could trust you with this. She gives him the badge, and it turns out that she has been talking to Brock and Misty, and they hold Red in high regards, and they talk to her and told her, hey, test him out if you want. So it turns out she had set up this whole thing. Eevee is actually an experiment. That whole thing is true. But it turns out that she was not actually part of the experimental process. She had actually just heard about this, had gotten a lot of information and done research on this, and it turns out that it's Team Rocket, of course, that has done this terrible thing. So that's not really a surprise. What's really surprising about this whole part, like, they spent 2 whole chapters kind of like building up to this, like, Erica's an evil gym leader again. It's another evil gym leader, and blah, blah, blah. And up until this point, they hadn't really faked it out like that. If a gym leader or a character in general was evil, they were just kind of evil. That's just how it is. So that's really interesting to see that, like, I'm sure that there was other ways that she could have tested him to see how virtuous he was, but, like, it's interesting to see that, like, they're using that. Oh, you see my dog in the background. They're using that, like, previously thought, oh, gym leaders are gonna be evil, but then there's no, like, middle ground or whatever for them, or there's no, like, trick to it. And this was a really interesting twist. I honestly didn't see it coming. It's not like a crazy twist, and that, like, blew my mind, but, like, it honestly, I didn't see it coming. That leads us into the very end of the chapter, in which 2-prong thing going on here. First of all, then we move on to an actual evil gym leader, and once again, they don't outright say the gym leader's name, but I'm pretty positive it's freaking Sabrina. And it's not even like a question of like, oh, ominous looking person, and maybe she's part of Team Rocket. She's straight up wearing a Team Rocket uniform. And not even, you know what? She's not even wearing the, like, regular black Team Rocket uniform. She's wearing like basically Jessie's uniform. So it's got like the skirt and the like light colored, the gray outfit rather than the black. So it's just straight up. She's floating up in the air, hanging out on a Kadabra somewhere, watching Red take off from Celadon City, and then we jump. So that's like really, really another evil gym leader. So now we got Koga, that is straight up part of Team Rocket. Now we have Sabrina, that is straight up part of Team Rocket. And then we have Lieutenant Surge, who not necessarily is part of Team Rocket. Maybe has done work with Team Rocket, but like is like a Pokemon poacher or something. He sells Pokemon. So that's 3 whole gym leaders at least that are evil. 3 whole gym leaders. You've got these gym leaders that are supposed to be the gym leaders are supposed to be virtuous, and like they're supposed to lead their towns, and they're supposed to be something that for people to look up to. But instead, whatever. 3 of them are evil. Is what it is. But yeah, so that's that. That's the gym leader problem, I guess. The very end of the chapter is Red going to the Safari Zone, and I gotta say, I love the hit and nod to Jurassic Park. They show the Safari Zone sign, and it's basically just Jurassic Park. And I love that. Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's one of the best movies, I think, out there. It's just so great, and I'm glad that they introduced that. They even have they got a little, not the Jurassic Park thing, but it's funny, I found, so Red's getting on this, like, it's not a boat, but it's like a little like ride tour thing. It's like a little like it's on a stream. It's not anything really. It's like a platform that he can hold on to, and then he'll go on the ride. And then there's like 2 little robot Pidgeys that are like Pidgeybots, I guess they call themselves. But yeah, so I think that's a cool thing. I'm interested to see if they have any other interesting Jurassic Park themes in the next chapter. But yeah, this whole chapter was just kind of like, nothing blew my mind. Nothing blew my mind. Like, I'm willing to, I'm pretty open-minded in terms of stuff like this. But there were some plot twists, and I don't think that there have been any major plot twists that, like, were like, whoa, really? And because I honestly thought that Erica was going to be an evil gym leader again. I thought it was just going to be here as a straight up evil gym leader. Red beats her. Maybe he gets her badge. I don't know. And then he saves Eevee, and then they go off on their own adventure. And that's just like the same as whatever. But instead, Erica's a good guy, apparently. And she kind of like gives him some advice, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, these are my thoughts. I found this chapter, it wasn't necessarily fun. Like, the last chapter, well, 2 chapters ago, was really fun, but this chapter was more just, it was more plot. It was more stuff going on, and really interesting, but not necessarily a fun chapter to read. It was interesting, and it got me into it, but I found the last chapter way more interesting, I guess, because it was really diving into that. I don't know. I found the chapter enjoyable enough. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe so you can keep up with all my other future videos. I guess that's all I got to say about this chapter. I will see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.